What's up, everybody? My name is Alex Maurer, and thank you for tuning in to the second episode of the MakeEVV show. That's right, people liked it enough the first go around, we decided to do it again. If you don't know what the MakeEVV show is, it's a series focused on highlighting local entrepreneurs, creatives, thought leaders, really anybody in the Evansville community that's doing something to better this place. We're probably going to highlight them. On this episode, we have Jason Burton. You might know Jason from the Evansville Podcast. He helps produce other local podcasts, and really he's just an overall Evansville supporter. Jason's a good friend of mine, and we had a lot of fun on this episode. So hopefully you'll enjoy it, and let's go ahead and get on to the show. Luckily I already pressed record, so that's... Nobody's listening to this anymore. They've all tuned out. It hasn't even started yet.
Who's the guy who was responsible for the Alex Maurer.
Jason Burton, what's up, buddy? How are you?
All right, how's it going? Welcome to my humble
This
abode.
is like podcast central in here.
Yeah,
it's very cool.
Yeah, thanks.
I like your brick wall.
I do too. It's a nice feature to have. It doesn't ever really get shown on the podcast, but yeah, there might be some future plans for that.
Yeah, it's very cool. I just see it and I'm just like, I would love to do video with that as a background. Yeah, so pretty cool setup here. I feel like, you know, we should be recording a podcast, but yet we have video in here.
Yes.
Evansville Podcast. I know you weren't the original podcast of Evansville, right, but I'd say you're the biggest.
I hope so.
How did you get in that realm of podcasting?
I like podcasts, and I'd been looking to do a podcast for a while. Started a consulting company in 2013 and thought this would be a good networking tool. And so at the end of 2013, December-ish, launched the first episode and went from there.
Yeah.
Just talking with wanting to talk with Evansville business people to just kind of pick their brains about how they run their business and then, just learn more about them. But it morphed into other things. Event people latched on pretty quick, which I totally get. And yeah, so it's good to know what's going on. So I wasn't unhappy about that.
So the name Evansville Podcast,
yeah,
that's kind of, I mean, you're laying claim there.
Yeah, it's funny when you said something to me about asking about that, like being bold or something, mm-hmm, and I never really thought about it that way. That was kind of funny. I guess I'm more naive than bold on that name. I'm very literal in my names, so it's a podcast about Evansville. It's the Evansville Podcast.
The name wasn't taken, so...
Name was not taken. URL was available. My other idea that my lovely wife stopped me, fortunately, from using was I was going to call it Giving Evansville the Business. Because it works on levels, man.
Yeah.
And no, it was a terrible idea. It's always good to have a vice president of common sense.
It is, yeah. Maria, I have so many bad ideas, and I run them by Maria, and she's usually the kind of like my checks and balances.
Yeah, like, it's very important.
You shouldn't do that. Yeah. It's brilliant.
It's terrible.
No, it's not. You put out a lot of content, and you said that originally it was going to be focused on business. You found out that you do a lot of events. Mm-hmm. And I think in entrepreneurship, I mean, you have to be, you have to know how to pivot. And, so you went into the event realm as well. What's the best way to find the next episode? Do people come after you now?
Yeah, people will track me down a lot. That's the biggest source, is just like I'll get a message on Facebook. The page will get messaged and it's like, hey, we're doing this. Can we come and talk? And that's most of the people. And that's not just events, but like I recently talked with somebody running for governor, and they reached out through the page, and then like, yeah, you can come over and talk with me. It's someone wanted to talk about they do life coaching for mothers of heroin addicts, and I'm like, I would have considered that as a topic, especially early on, but it was a great episode. And so if I see something like I have ideas of shows that I want to do, episodes I want to do, and I'll definitely reach out to those people. But for the most part anymore, it's people are finding me.
Do you turn a lot of people down?
No,
you're pretty open.
just you. No, no, I don't. I don't think I may not use something after I've recorded it, either bad quality or I was just a terrible job of hosting.
Mm-hmm.
Where I just didn't ask the right questions. Bad
Well,
prep
which
on me,
is-
that's all on me.
Because you don't have like a background in interviewing people.
Oh gosh, no.
Neither of us do.
No.
Our background is quiet room in front of a computer, not talking to people, but yet
Yeah.
here we are.
Right, and I wouldn't say I was ever overly curious either with people necessarily. So
Yeah,
it's
like
been,
don't talk to me.
I'm a computer guy. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
But it's
If you want to talk to me, send me a message.
Will you please email me?
Yeah.
And now I hate email, so it's a whole thing.
So you're very focused on Evansville, obviously, a big supporter of all things Evansville. You go to a lot of events.
That's something that I feel like a lot of people should be doing is even if it's not your thing that you necessarily like, you should still support it at least a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it's not for you, it's not for you. But you gotta try it before you know, because there's a lot of things I never would have tried. I did yoga at Bossy Field, the other day, and I'm not a yoga person, so I never would have done that. But I wanted to support Sam and Mark who'd come on the show, and it was great.
What's going on in Evansville that you're proud of? It's kind of like if you're talking to somebody outside of Evansville, you can brag a little bit. What is that for you?
I'd say right now I'm very happy with the food and drink culture that we've got going on.
Mm-hmm.
I think the bar is going up and up. Bar. Yeah. That's what I did there. I'm a professional. But no, like the coffee culture we've got right now.
Explosion.
There's coffee explosion. It's it just raises everybody's quality of coffee. The drink, the bars, or the beers we have. All the brewers in town are doing a great job, and then the food, just like with Pangea and Spice Cafe, just the quality of non-chain restaurants is just, the food quality is excellent. So I think we've really upped our game in that area, and I'm pretty excited about that.
I love the restaurant scene that we have at Evansville right now. I think like Tin Man came in, and it was a different style of restaurant than we typically have.
Yeah.
And then some other restaurants came in. I remember going to Pangea when it first opened, and talking with people and saying, this is very un-Evansville. This is an un-Evansville restaurant.
Right.
And then more of that style started popping up, and now it's no longer this is the non-typical Evansville restaurant. Like, this is the style of restaurant in Evansville now, and it's fun. It's trendy. It's an experience. You go there, and the food is typically good, but the atmosphere and the experience is great.
Yeah.
And you want to come back. It becomes your favorite restaurant, not because of the food, but the way you feel while you're there.
Right. Yeah, and like a place like Haney's Corner, which has excellent restaurants like Dapper Pig, Sauced, and then it's just a community. You see the people, same people a lot of the time, so you get to know them. I've not experienced anything like it in the area before. Mm-hmm. So places, stuff like that is just, it's an interesting time we have right now.
It generates pride, I think, in the community, and that's something that I feel like we're lacking a little bit. Is we talked about in the last podcast that we're Midwestern area, and it's kind of like that. Oh shucks, we're not. We don't brag. Right. That's our culture. We're not a bragging culture. But now,
but we should be.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah.
So that's kind of maybe somewhat of a segue into my my next question is what do you think that Evansville needs to do to take that next step in our journey to becoming the city that we can be?
Right. A couple things. I think as the people of Evansville, I kind of talked about we can support things. Try things out. If it's a new restaurant, go ahead and try it. If it's a music festival, try it. And even if you don't know if any of the people there, if it's a local band's playing somewhere, go see them. There's excellent music in this town that, just because they're not famous outside of here yet, that doesn't mean they're lacking quality. They're pretty amazing musicians in the area. And then as a city, I think I've heard so many complaints about how hard it is to get a business going, specifically restaurants. I think maybe that they need to relook at some rules, some regulations. I mean, I've talked with someone that opened up in Henderson instead of Evansville, even though they wanted to be in Evansville because they couldn't quite get the right rules, or it wasn't, it was too confusing. And then Henderson he's like, here, just one person to talk to, and let's just go. And so they opened there. So that's something we're missing, because that restaurant is really good. Mm-hmm. So it's I think that's something maybe we can look at, is some of the regulations that we have to kind of help entrepreneurs get going.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would agree with that too. What's next for you? Like, you're involved in quite a few things, and helping podcasts grow seems to be kind of in your wheelhouse now.
Yeah.
What's on the horizon for you?
Selfishly, I do that so people don't ask me what a podcast is.
Spreading the awareness of podcasts.
The awareness. We started a network, Evansville Podcast Network. Like I said, I'm very literal with our name. Mm-hmm. There's Josh Petrowski, Clark Osborne, and my wife Laura. We started the podcast where we all have a podcast. There's 4 of us now. We have another one coming on probably by winter. And then going forward, we'd like to have more and more jump on the network. I think it's a good way to help share the cost of doing podcasts. We can grab sponsors, that kind of thing. But also, I would like to get into more, call it white labeling of podcasts for businesses. I see that as a useful tool for a business, not necessarily to sponsor on a podcast, but actually have their own podcast where they can, control their own media, basically. And I think I can help them do that. So that's something on the horizon as well.
Well, cool. Thank you very much, Jason. I appreciate you coming on here and help spread the message of what you're doing, and kind of that culture that's coming to Evansville. So thank you very much.
Thanks. Good job, everybody. Good job.